I don't know, but this is a really creepy story. Armed and dangerous. New Jersey nurse who set co-worker on fire, dead by suicide. So it says a nurse. He flees charged with attempted murder after setting fire to a co-worker. So looking at from what everything is going on with the pandemic and people being sick and a lot of people are worried about their health. Can you imagine this being your nurse? This is really crazy. I have never seen anything like this. Okay, so it says the nurse he sets the coworker on fire and in hospital break room. And so that's where it happened. So this is in New Jersey where it took place. And so that's unusual. And wow, he looked like he was pretty disturbed. So this is by Haley Fowler. He's a travel nurse that is accused, he's accused or allegedly accused of setting fire to his coworker in a New Jersey hospital. And this happened in the break room, and he's fleeing in his car, as you could see, after he did it. And that was before law enforcement had arrived to the hospital, the spokesperson said. So the incident unfolded early Monday, February the 7th, at Hackensack University Medical Center in northeast New Jersey, and it left the victim with third-degree burns, the Bergen County Prosecutor Office said in a news release. So according to the release, the police received a 911 call around 5:15 in the morning. So it goes on to say that a hospital employee was attacked and burned by another individual in the break room. So violence will not be tolerated in our network, Hackensack Meridian Health said in a statement. So our doctors, nurses, teams, true heroes deserve our respect. So the safety of our patients, our team members in Hackensack Meridian Health's highest priority. So the victim, he's a 54, or let's say she, it's a woman, 54 years old, whose job title was not released, had third-degree burns on her upper body and hands, and was treated in the emergency room in Hackensack University Medical Center before being transferred to another medical facility. So the prosecutor said this in the office. Prosecutor's office, of course. So she also had a cut on her hand that required stitches. So there were no witnesses. Nobody saw it to the incident. The police have no motive for this particular attack at the time. So Hackensack Meridian said so. Additional security was stationed at the hospital after this attack took place, and the Bergen County Prosecutor Office identified the alleged attacker. This was around February the 8th. A 31-year-old Nicholas Pagono of West Deptford, New Jersey. And so Pagano is wanted on charges of attempted murder, aggravated arson, aggravated assault, unlawful weapons possession. So law enforcement said that he drives a 1998 white Jeep Grand Cherokee with black rooftop racks, and New Jersey license plates numbers are on there, so S57NJH. And so Nicholas Pagono should be considered armed and dangerous and should not be approached by members of the public, the prosecutor's office said. So Pagono was working at the hospital as a contracted agency nurse, according to Hackensack Meridian, so also known as a travel nurse. Contract nurses work on short-term basis and travel to different healthcare facilities that have specific staffing needs, particularly during these shortages. Of course, like the pandemic, they've been saying that the hospitals are understaffed. So the demand for travel nurses has skyrocketed since the COVID-19 pandemic, prompting many to leave their full-time positions in favor of salaries that are 2 or 3 times higher as a travel nurse gets. And so Hackensack Meridian said that Pagono passed a background check, a drug screening, and license review before he was cleared to work by the agency that provides travel workers to its network. And so he had been in Hackensack University Medical Center since about November, officials said. So the Bergen County Prosecutor Office and Hackensack Police Department are investigating that incident. So Hackensack Meridian declined to provide additional details due to the ongoing investigation, but said that officials are cooperating with law enforcement. So anyone with the information regarding this particular guy, Begano, is asked to call Hackensack Police Department. There's a number listed here. Now, what I saw earlier, this is the guy, and this was his truck. And so when you go over, you'll see it says, man sought after fiery attack found dead. So they found him, and he was dead. And so I believe he committed suicide. So West Deptford man sought after fiery attack found dead. So this is by Jim Walsh and Cherry Hill Courier Post. And so this is February 8th. So this is updated. He was found dead Tuesday morning from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at Waterford, authorities said. So Hackensack police are seeking a West Deptford man accused of attacking an employee in the hospital break room here. Nicholas Pagono, who is 31 or was 31 years old, a nurse, allegedly burned an employee at Hackensack University Medical Center around 5:15 a.m. in the morning Tuesday, according to the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. So he also was accused of hitting the victim, identified only as she was is a 54-year-old nurse. He hit her with a wrench, and so Pagono should be considered armed and dangerous, or he was considered armed and dangerous, and should not be approached by the public, the prosecutor said. So in the statement of Hackensack Hospital described Pagono as an independent nurse contractor who typically travels to different locations to provide help during shortages. And so it is said that he had entered the break room at the scene and allegedly set a hospital nurse on fire, causing third-degree burns to the upper body and face and hands. The woman also received stitches for a laceration on her head. And so there were no witnesses to the incident, and the police have no motive for the attack at this time. So this was him, a traveling nurse. So a manhunt was underway for Nicholas Pagono of the West Deptford. And so he looks, I don't know, to me he looked disturbed, like something was up. So the victim was treated at a hospital emergency room and then was moved to another medical facility for additional care. So Pagono was believed to be driving, this was the truck that he was driving at the time. It was a 1998 white Jeep Grand Cherokee with a black roof racks, New Jersey plates, and it has the plate number. So Hamilton police said Pagono has ties to Atlantic County community. So this was his truck right here. So the police believe that Nicholas Pagono is driving a white Jeep he was driving this vehicle. So he was charged with allegedly attempted murder, aggravated arson, aggravated assault, and weapons offenses. So this is his truck right here. The charges are only allegations, they said. Well, now he's not alive, so I don't know that they can charge a dead man with any of these things. But even if he did or didn't do it, which looks like he probably did if he's running away from the scene of the whole incident, it's a possibility he's a suspect in it. More than likely he did. And he looks rather disturbed. I don't know. I mean, you got to be careful about these people, but there is workplace violence. And I mean, this person, he brought it to a whole nother level, didn't he? So Yeah.